going to be telling you how to get every single new Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. How's it going, everybody? Blaine here for Bridgeport Games. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. We have a lot to talk about today, because today we're going to be talking about how to catch every single new Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now look, regardless of how you guys feel about the games, I know there's a lot of controversy going around all the, glitches and issues there. But setting all that aside, there are a ton of brand new Pokemon to catch, and in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you have to do to catch every single one of them. Now, do keep in mind there are exclusives, so in order to actually catch all of them, you're going to need to have both copies of the game and 2 Switches, or you're going to need to have somebody you can trade with who has the opposite version that you do. That being said, another option would be if you have 1 Switch and both games, you could always catch all the Pokemon in each game and wait till Pokemon Home comes out, and you can transfer them all into the same file, but it's really up to you. Alright, so that being said, we have a lot we gotta talk about. Let's go ahead and dive in and get started. But before I do, I just want to take 1 second to ask, if you like the videos we have here on the channel, please consider giving them a big ol' thumbs up, and also please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help us out, and it's the best way to let YouTube know that you guys love our content, so thanks in advance. Alright, with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with our starters, Fuecoco, Quaxly, and of course, Sprigatito. Alright, kicking things off with our starters, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxly, and of course their evolutions, Florigato, Meowscarada, Crocolore, Skeledurge, Quaxwell, and Quaquaval. All those Pokemon are only going to be able to be found in the beginning of the game. They're not really wild anywhere, and as far as I've been able to find so far, you can't get them in the post-game or anything like that. So, you are going to have to actually trade to get the other 2. That being said, though, there are a lot of people online coordinating to be able to trade, and it's going to be pretty easy for you to actually use the GTS or just your normal Natural Friends network to get the other 2 starters. Also, that being said, if you happen to have 2 Switches in both copies of the game, obviously you can just boot one up, trade over the starter, reset it, get the other one, and then you'll be pretty much all set. And look, I know we're not off to a good start because you can't actually get more than 1 copy of the starters in the games, but the next few Pokemon are going to be very, very easy to get, so hopefully that makes up for it. Alright, now let's talk about Lechonk. This little piggy can be found in the East Province of Area 1 and Area 2, outside of the Pokemon League, and in the South Province of Area 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look, it's a lot, just check the map. It's also worth keeping in mind it can be found in 1-star Terra Raid battles as well. They are going to be kind of all over the place, but it is an option for you. Now at level 18, Lechonk does evolve into Oinkologne. But if you don't want to evolve your Lechonk into one, you are able to find them wild. Oinkologne is going to be found in the East Province of Area 1 and Area 2, the South Province of Area 3 and 5, the Tag Tree Thicket, and the West Province of Area 2 and 3. And much like Lechonk, it's also going to be found in those Terra Raid battles, but they are only going to be found in 3-star raid battles as opposed to 1. Alright, now next up we have Dunsparce and its evolution to Dunsparce. Now look, Dunsparce is found kind of all over the place. I'm just going to put up the map so you can see it right now. But when we get to Dudunsparce, things are a little more complicated. Now first off, when Dunsparce evolves into Dudunsparce, it can either become the 2-segment version or the 3-segment version. They look pretty similar, so you're going to actually have to count the body parts to know which kind of version you have. Now that being said, you are able to evolve your Dunsparce with Nose Hyper Drill. Now there's no way to predict if it's going to be the 2 or 3 segment body, so you are going to have to kind of just evolve a lot of them if you want to go that route. However, the Dunsparce are also going to be found wildly in Area 0, kind of the crater in the middle of the map. Now they are also going to be found in 4-star Terra Raid battles, and that will kind of give you the flexibility of being able to count the body segments if that's something that's important to you. And that's going to take us to Torountula, who much like Lechonk is found kind of all over the place. It's going to be found outside the Pokemon League, and it's also going to be found in the South Province of Area 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And of course, it's also going to be in those 1-star Terra Raid battles as well. Now moving on to its evolution Spidops, you can evolve your Torountula into it at level 15, or if you want to find it in the wild, it can be found in the East Province of Area 1 or 2, the North Province of Area 2, Sakura Trail, the Tag Tree Thicket, and the West Province of Area 3. And of course, in order to get it in a Terra Raid battle, you're going to have to look for the 3-star ones, because that's where it'll be found. And then we have Nymble, our little insect here, and he's going to be found in the South Province of Area 2, 3, and 6, and the West Province of Area 1. It's also going to be found in 1-star Terra Raids. Now, its evolution Lokix can be obtained by evolving your Nymble into it at level 24, or it can be found in the Alfrenata Cavern, the Asado Desert, Casaroya Lake, the Delazappa Passage, the East Province of Area 3, Glaciado Mountain, the North Provinces of Area 1, 2, and 3, the South Province of Area 6, and the West Province of Area 2. So it's pretty much found all over the place, so you're not going to have any trouble finding it. And of course, it's also in those 3-star raids, so it'll be even easier to get. And that brings us to our Dung Beetle Pokemon, Rellor. Now, it is only going to be found in the Asado Desert or in 1-star raid battles. But it is awesome because it gets to evolve into an awesome Pokemon called Rabsca. Now, Rabsca can only be obtained by evolving your Rellor, and what you're going to have to do for that, you're going to have to let it out of its Pokeball in the Let's Go feature, and you're going to have to take 1,000 steps with it, then evolve it. Now, the best way to actually do this is with a rare candy, because if you're just knocking out Pokemon, it can take kind of a while, and that could also somehow interrupt your cycle, so you don't really want to gamble on that. I usually just recommend letting it out, taking your 1,000 steps, evolve it with a candy, and call it a day. And given how awesome this Pokemon is, it's worth the effort. That being said, it's also going to be available in your 4-star Terra raids, because it is more powerful than your average 3-star Pokemon. Now, next up we have Greavard, who is going to be found in the Dolliv Passage, Glaciado Mountain, and the West Province of Area 3. Now, it's also going to have static encounters you can find, where it's just kind of the headstone or the candle sticking up, and that's going to be found all over Glaciado Mountain. Now, you can also find them in Area 0, actually in the post-game, and that's going to be found in specific caverns throughout the area, but they're really easy to find, so it's going to be pretty hard for you to go there and not come across one. Now, Greavard evolves into Houndstone at level 30 when you evolve it at night. However, it can also be found all over the place in the wild, at places like Casseroya Lake, the Dolliv Passage, Glaciado Mountain, and the North Province of Area 1. As I also said, it's found in Area 0 as well in the post-game, so just kind of look around and you'll find one. It's actually also interesting to note, this Pokemon was just banned to Ubers and singles because of how powerful its last rites move is, so it's kind of an interesting Pokemon to play around with, and it's probably worth your attention to get it. And that'll take us to our little chick Pokemon, Flittle. Now, Flittle can be found in the Asado Desert, in the Dolliv Passage, in the East Province of Area 2, the North Province of Area 1, the South Province of Area 1, 4, 5, and 6, and the West Province of Area 1. And like all the other base level Pokemon on this list, you are going to be able to find it in 1-star Terra raids also. Now, you're going to be able to evolve it at level 35 into the Ostrich Pokemon Espathra, but if you don't want to do that, it can also be found in the Dolliv Passage, the North Province of Area 1, or the South Province of Area 6. And if you want to go take it down in those raid battles, you're going to have to go into the 4-star ones in order to find it. And next up, we have the Pokemon that nobody knew they wanted, but everybody seems to love, and that's Farigiraf. Now, if your Girafarig knows Twin Beam, you will be able to evolve it into Farigiraf, but if you want to catch it wild, it can be found in Area 0 in the postgame, again, once you go into the crater of Paldea. Now, if you do want to get this one in raid battles, that's an option as well, and it is going to be showing up in the 4-star and 6-star raids. And that's going to bring us to our regional interpretation of Diglett, Wiglett. Now, Wiglett can be found in the East Province of Area 2, the South Province of Area 5, or the West Province of Area 1 or 2. Now, it can evolve into its evolution Wugtrio, these names, at level 26. But if you do want to catch them wild, that's an option as well, and you can find them in the North Province of Area 1 and 3, and the West Province of Area 2. And in raid battles, they are going to be found in the 4-star raids. And moving on to Dodonzo, it's actually going to be found in only one place, and that is Casseroya Lake. Now, if you don't know where that is, it's just kind of the big body of water on the left-hand side of the map. If you go there, you're not going to be able to miss this thing because it's pretty big and it shows up all the time. Now, speaking of aquatic Pokemon, we also have Veluza. Now, it is also going to be found in the Casseroya Lake, but it can be also found in the North Paldean Sea or the West Paldean Sea. And the really great thing about this Pokemon is if you're in the water, it's probably going to come charging at you, so you're not going to have to do a lot to find it. But if that's not enough fish for you, you can find it in 4-star raids as well. And that's going to take us to possibly the most complicated Pokemon on this list, Finizen and Palafin. Now, Finizen can be found in any of the Paldean Seas, North, South, East, or West. But getting its evolution is where everything gets tricky. Now, starting at level 38, it is able to evolve into Palafin. What you're going to have to do is have another player join you from the Union Room, and you're going to have to enter a battle together. Now, when you are playing with your friends and you enter a battle together, you are going to have to level it up. Once it gets to any level beyond 38, it is going to evolve into Palafin, and you may be confused because it's probably going to look the exact same, except that it has a crest on its chest. Now, it is pretty fitting that the only way to actually get this Pokemon is to evolve Finizen, or to find it in those 5-star raids. But what makes this Pokemon unique is it has another form called the Hero form. That's right, this Pokemon goes from 0 to Hero. When you have your Palafin out and it looks just like the Finizen, all you have to do is recall it and then send it back out, and it will be in its Hero form. And that form looks absolutely hilarious and ridiculous, kind of taking a Superman pose, and having a 160 attack, so if nothing else, it's really fun just having it for your Pokedex. And that's actually going to take us into one of the first Pokemon that we actually saw for Scarlet and Violet, Smolliv. Now, Smolliv can only be found in South Province Area 2, or in 1-star raid battles. Now, it evolves into Dolliv at level 25, who can also be found in the East Paldean Sea, the North Province of Area 3, or the Tag Tree Thicket. And as a middle evolution, it is going to be able to be found in those 3-star raid battles also. And at level 35, Dolliv is going to evolve into its final evolution, Arboliva. Now, it is only going to be found in 5-star raid battles, but it's a really cool Pokemon that's pretty powerful, so it's worth picking up. And that takes us to our peppery buddy, Capsakid. Now, Capsakid can be found in the Asado Desert or the West Province of Area 1. It's also going to be found in 2-star raid battles. Now, to evolve it into its evolution Scovillain, you are going to have to either use a Firestone on it, or find it in the Dalizapa Passage, the North Province of Area 1 or 3, or the South Province of Area 6. But if you'd rather take it on in raid battles, you can find it in 4-star raids. And that's going to take us to Tadbulb, the pre-evolution of Bellibolt. Now this little guy can be found in the East Province of Area 2 or 3, Glaciado Mountain, the South Province of Area 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or in the West Province of Area 2. And of course it is able to be found in those 1-star raids. Now you can evolve it into Bellibolt by using a Thunderstone on it, or you can find Bellibolt in the wild of the East Province of Area 3, Glaciado Mountain, the North Province of Area 3, the South Province of Area 4, the Tag Tree Thicket, or the West Province of Area 2 or 3. And as far as raids, it's going to be showing up in 4-star raids. Now you may recognize the next Pokemon Varoom from its involvement with Team Star. Now this single-cylinder engine Pokemon can be found in the East Province of Area 3 or the West Province of Area 2, and it can also be found in 2-star raid battles. Now you're going to be able to evolve it to its evolution Reveroom at level 40, but if you're not feeling like evolving it, you can find it in the Dalizapa Passage or the North Province of Area 1. Now it also has static encounters on Glaciado Mountain or the North Province of Area 2, and if none of those are going to do it for you, you can also find it in 5- and 6-star raids. And we're going to follow that up with another Steel-type Pokemon, Orthworm. Now, Orthworm can be found in the Asado Desert or in the East Province of Area 3. You're also going to be able to find it in 5- and 6-star raid battles. And with that, we're going to hop into maybe the cutest entry on this entire list, Tandemaus. Now, that being said, Tandemaus is going to be found in the East Province of Areas 1, 2, and 3, outside the Pokemon League, and the West Provinces of Area 2 and 3. Now, it's fitting there are 2 mice at this stage because it is able to be found in 2-star raids as well. Now, at level 25, it is going to evolve into Mousehold. These names, I can't get over it. And Mousehold actually has 2 random forms you can encounter. When Tandemaus evolves, your Mousehold is either going to have 3 or 4 mice in it. You're going to have the 2 parents and then either 1 or 2 babies. Now, the only way to actually get your hands on this Pokemon is to evolve Tandemaus, or go ahead and hop into some raids, where it can be found at 4- and 6-star raids. Now, one quick note about this Pokemon, it's actually bugged in the game right now. It has a multi-hit move that can usually hit between 1 and 10 times, but apparently it's currently coded to actually only hit 10 times, so if you want a cute Pokemon for your playthrough that can actually probably kick a lot of butt, go with this one. And we're going to move from there on to our next Pokemon, Satotl, the Ice Pokemon. Now, it's going to be found in the Dalizapa Passage or in Glaciado Mountain. It's also going to have a static encounter in the West Province of Area 3, and in raids, it's going to be able to be found in 3-star raids. Now, in order to evolve it into its evolution Titan, you are going to have to use an Ice Stone on it. Alternatively, you can go ahead and head up to Glaciado Mountain if you want to find one in the wild, or go ahead and hunt them down in 5- and 6-star raids. And that's going to take us to our pseudo-legendary Pokemon, Frigibax. Now, this cute little frozen dino can only be found on Glaciado Mountain or in 3-star raids. At level 35, it's going to evolve into its middle stage, Arctibax, who can also be found on Glaciado Mountain, but is not found in any raids. Then at level 54, it is going to evolve into Baxcalibur. Now, as we know so far, the only way to actually get this is to evolve your Arctibax, or to find it in 5- and 6-star raids. And from there, we're going to go to one of the most deceptively powerful Pokemon on this list. And that's Tatsugiri. Now, it's a water dragon Pokemon that's inspired by sushi. Now, you really wouldn't think that that would be that good, but it has 120 special attacks, so you're going to want to find this thing. Now, it is pretty much only going to be found in Castle Royale Lake and the surrounding areas, but it is also available in 5-star raids. Alright, and that's going to take us to our next Pokemon, Cyclizar, and it may look familiar because it's actually kind of descendant from one of your 2 dragons. So, you know, we have Koraidon and Miraidon being the past and future version of those Pokemon, but Cyclizar is going to be basically the modern-day interpretation of it. Now, it's going to be found in Area 2 in the East and West Province, as well as at static locations in the Asado Desert, the East Province of Area 1, the West Province of Area 1, and the West Province of Area 3. It is also going to be found in 4- and 6-star raid battles. And from there, we're going to go to another early Pokemon that we saw in the trailers, Pawmi. Now, this Electric-type Pokemon can be found in the South Province of Area 1, the South Province of Area 3, and the South Province of Area 5. It also has static encounters in the South Province of Area 2, and the West Province of Area 1. So keep an eye out for it, it's kind of all over the place. Now, another awesome thing is it can be found in 1-star raid battles, so if you happen to encounter one, they're going to be very easy to beat. Now, at level 18, it is going to evolve into Pawmo and pick up the fighting typing. Now, Pawmo can actually be found in more locations than Pawmi. It can be found in the East Province of Area 1 and 2, the North Province of Area 1 and 3, the South Province of Area 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and the West Province of Area 1, 2, and 3. And for raids, you're going to be able to find it in 3-star raids. Now, this is going to be another one to evolve that you're going to have to let it out of its Pokeball and take 1,000 steps with it. And of course, once you walk 1,000 steps using the Let's Go feature, and you level it up, it is going to evolve into Pawmot. Now, Pawmot cannot be found anywhere naturally in the game, but it can be found in raids in 5- and 6-star raids. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, that may actually be easier than walking it and leveling it up, because that took me a surprisingly long time to actually pull off in my game. And that'll bring us to our regional bird, Wugtrio. Now this flying electric Pokemon can be found in the East Paldean Sea, the East Province of Area 2, the South Paldean Sea, the West Paldean Sea, or the West Province of Area 1. Now it's also going to be found in the 1-star raids if you'd rather get it that way. Now at level 25, it does evolve into Kilowattrel, who can be also found at Casaroya Lake in the East and West Paldean Seas, as well as the North Paldean Sea and the North Province of Area 1. Now as far as raids, you're going to want to look at the 4 and 6-star raids in order to find this one. Alright, now buckle up. We're about to have a bunch of birds that have no evolutions. They just have one stage, and that's it. Now, starting things off, we have Bombardor. This flying and dark-type Pokemon can be found in the South Province of Area 6, the West Paldean Sea, and the West Provinces of Area 1 and 3. And for raids, you're going to want to look at the 5 and 6-star raids to get this one. And from there, we're going to go on to Squawkabilly, kind of our parakeet Pokemon. And that's going to be found only in the East Provinces of Area 1, 2, and 3, or the West Province of Area 1. Now, in raids, it is going to show up in 4-star raids, but I don't really recommend this. The reason being is it actually has 4 different colors of its, feathers of its plumage that you can find in the game. I think it has green, yellow, blue, and white. The bottom line is it shows up very early in the game, and you're going to be spending a lot of unnecessary time in raids to get it. So if you just want to go ahead and get all the forms, I just recommend heading to those first 3 areas, and you'll be able to get it that way. And wrapping up our bird trio here, we have Flamigo. Now, Flamigo is going to be found at Casaroya Lake, the East Provinces of Area 2 or 3, Glaciado Mountain, the North Province of Area 1, the South Provinces of Areas 4 and 5, and the West Province of Area 2 and 3. And if you want to go ahead and take it down in raids, you're going to want to look for the 4-star raids. And now, shifting gears, we're going to go ahead and talk about Cloth, who can be found in the South Province of Area 3. Now, that's probably going to be the preferable way to get it, because the only other option to get this crab Pokemon is to actually find it in 6-star raids. And we're going to go from there to one of the best Pokemon to have early in your playthrough, especially for defeating those Titans, and that's going to be Knackley. Now, this salty Pokemon can be found in the Asado Desert, in the East Provinces of Area 1, 2, or 3, the South Provinces of Area 3, 4, and 5, and the West Provinces of Area 1 and 2. And you're going to be able to find them in 1-star raid battles as well, but really they're found all over the place, so it's not that hard to get this guy. Now, at level 24, it's going to evolve for the first time into Knacklestack. Now, if you don't want to evolve it and you want to catch it wild, it can be found in the Alfornata Cavern, Casaroya Lake, the Dalizapa Passage, Glaciado Mountain, the North Provinces of Area 1, 2, and 3, or the West Province of Area 3. And it will be able to be seen in those 3-star raid battles as well. Now at level 38, it will evolve into its final evolution, Garganacl. Now if you don't want to evolve it, that Pokemon can only be found wild in Area 0, the crater in the middle, or in 5 or 6-star raids. And we're going to go from there to another Pokemon that's apparently native to Area 0, and that's going to be Glimmet. Now Glimmet can be found in the Alfornata Cavern, or Area 0, or East Province Area 3, or Glaciado Mountain, the North Province area of Area 1 or 2, or the West Province of Area 2. Now, as far as raids, it is going to be found in 3-star raid battles. I haven't seen any myself, but apparently they are there. Now, at level 35, it is going to evolve into Glamora. Now, if you don't want to go the route of evolving it, your options are a little more limited, but it can be found in Area 0, again the crater, or in 5 or 6-star raids. Now, another Pokemon that was actually seen pretty heavily in the trailers is Grafaiai, and right now we're talking about its pre-evolution, Shroodle. Now, Shroodle can be found in the East Province of Area 1 or 2, the South Provinces of Area 1 or 2, Tag Tree Thicket, or the West Province of Area 3, in addition to 1-star raids. Now, at level 28, it is going to evolve into Grafaiai, who can also be found in the Tag Tree Thicket. Now, it does have some static encounters around Casaroya Lake and the North Province of Area 2 as well, but I was able to find him really easily in Tag Tree Thicket, so I kind of recommend that method. And of course, it's going to be showing up in raids. This time around, it's going to be in 4 and 6-star raids. And that's going to take us to the Paldean Doughboy, Fido. Now, this Pokemon is pretty much designed to be found early, as it's only found in the South Province of Area 1, or the South Province of Area 2, or 1-star raids. But at level 26, it is going to evolve into Doxbun, who can also be found in the East Province of Area 3, the South Province of Area 6, or the West Province of Area 3. And it will also be found in 4 and 6-star raids throughout the region. And for our next Pokemon, if you completed the main stories of your games, you are going to be very familiar with this line. And that is Maschiff, who evolves into Mabostiff. Now, this dark doggo can be found in the South Provinces of Area 1, 2, and 4, and the West Provinces of Areas 2 and 3. Now, as we know, it is going to be kind of an earlier game Pokemon, so it is going to be found in those 1-star raids. However, at level 30, it is going to be able to evolve into Mabostiff. It can be found wild in the West Province of Area 3, the North Province of Area 2, or in any 5 or 6-star raid battles you may encounter. And from there, we're actually going to go to one of the weirdest Pokemon in the entire game, and that is Bramblin. Now, this Tumbleweed Pokemon can actually be found in the Asado Desert, or in the East Province of Area 3. And if you want to go ahead and find raids for it, it is going to be a 2-star raid for this guy. Now, this is another one where you have to walk with it in the overworld, where you're going to have to take 1,000 steps and then level it up in order to get it to evolve into its next form. But look, I'm going to be honest, I really don't like this Pokemon, so I don't think you want any other players seeing you with it. Which is a good thing, because it can be caught in the wild. Its evolution Bramblegast can be found in the North Province of Area 1 or in the Sakura Trail. And of course can also be found in raids, this time exclusively in 5-star raids. And that's going to go ahead and take us to our treasure chest Pokemon, Gimmighoul. Now this Pokemon is kind of complicated. So if you want to get it in its chest form, which is pretty easy to do, you're going to be able to find that pretty much in any of the towers throughout the game. You're going to see as you progress through your story, a lot of those towers that have kind of castle-like rims around them. If you go all the way up to the top, there is going to be a Gimmighoul you can battle and catch, and when you defeat it, it is going to give you a lot of coins. Now, Gimmighoul does also have a form that's not going to be in the chest called the roaming form. These are found just everywhere. They're scattered all over the place. You just have to look for them because they're really tiny. And when you find them, they give you a coin. Now, these cannot currently be caught. They probably will be caught down the road when they tie into like Home or Pokemon Go, anything like that, but right now we don't know how to get them. We do know, however, that this Pokemon evolves, and it evolves into Gholdengo. Now, as I said in one of our leak videos, I really don't like this Pokemon, and I feel like it needs to be a mascot for a bank. But if you are dead set on getting this Pokemon, it is going to be a little bit of a task to do. You are going to have to get 999 coins collected from all those Gimmighouls, and give it to one of your Gimmighoul, and it will evolve into this Pokemon. Now, this Pokemon is not found in any raids. It is exclusively found through getting all those coins. So, good luck. It's quite the challenge. And this might be one of the Pokemon that I put off getting for quite a while. Alright, now that's going to take us into our Paradox Pokemon. Now, there's kind of a lot to talk about here, so we're going to do this section a little bit differently. Alright, now I am going to be issuing a spoiler warning here because we're going to be talking about some kind of plot-relevant details, so just consider yourself warned. Now, you're not going to be able to catch any Paradox Pokemon until you've beaten all 4 main storylines. The 4th and final storyline is what's going to take you into the kind of depths of Area 0 where you can actually see where the Paradox Pokemon are coming from, and you'll be able to actually encounter a number of them that way. Now, there are going to be 7 in each version that are exclusive to that game, so they are going to be a little bit of trouble to kind of get your hands on, but the good news is, if you actually have a friend who has the other version, you guys can do local multiplayer together and you can choose either game to go into, and you'll be able to actually catch Pokemon from the other version that way, so you can have your, OTs on them and things like that. Now, in Pokemon Scarlet, you are going to have the past versions of Pokemon. So you are going to have the past version of Donphan called Grey Tusk, the past version of Amoonguss called Brute Bonnet, the past version of Magneton called Sandy Shocks, the past version of Jigglypuff called Screamtail, the past version of Mr. Abyss called Fluttermane, the past version of Volcarona called Slitherwing, and the past version of Salamence called Roaring Moon. Now, 5 of these Pokemon, Grey Tusk, Brute Bonnet, Screamtail, Fluttermane, and Slitherwing, can pretty much be found all over in Area 0. For example, here I am underground, and as you can see, there are literally just Screamtails and Brute Bonnets just chilling out here. And I believe I also encountered some of the Donphan ones down here as well. Oh, there we go. There's the Donphan right there. I knew it was around here somewhere. Now, in order to get things like the Slitherwing and some of the other ones, you are going to have to go up top in order to do that. Now, let's go ahead there and just kind of show you guys that area as well. And now, as you can see when you do go outside, right now I'm just outside of the first research area. We do see the, past version of Volcarona just walking around here, Slitherwing, which is really, really awesome. Now, there is one thing I really wanted to show you guys, and that's how to get Roaring Moon, because it's only in one very specific area. Now, this is also going to be how you're going to get Iron Valiant, the sort of future version of Gallade, and kind of pay attention because this is going to be kind of complicated, but we are going to be able to get there no problem. Now, some guides I saw online recommended going to Research Area 1 or 2. Don't do that. Go to Area 3. And now, the way this is going to work, you're going to teleport kind of to the, 3rd research base, which is the last one above ground. And now once you get out of there, go ahead and hop on your dragon once you've unlocked that. And what you're going to want to do, you see this area over here to the left? You're going to want to go in this opening kind of over here. And we're seeing some Brute Bonnets, that's kind of nice. But what you want to make sure you look out for over here, there's this rock formation, and as you can see, it looks like you can go in there. Now what you're going to have to do, kind of go in here, and you'll come to this cavern. Now as we can see, there are things like Sneasels, Weaviles in here. Once you go all the way to the inside of this cavern, we are going to be able to encounter our Roaring Moon. I am playing on Scarlet right now, so it is going to be the Salamence version. Now, hopefully he's here. I have caught several this way. And it looks like even though Roaring Moon is being a little shy today, we do see we have some Fluttermanes down here as well. But just to show you guys that I know what I'm talking about, here is my Roaring Moon that I caught separately. And right now it is picking off some Greavards, but oh, there we go. We see there is another Roaring Moon right here. I guess it just needed its buddy to come out, so perfect. That is how you're going to find it. It'll just be walking around really randomly, and he wants to battle me, which I don't really want to do right now because I want to tell you guys how to get some more Pokemon. Now, those were all the Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet, the past versions. Now, you are going to have future versions of Pokemon in Pokemon Violet. Now, for those, you are going to have a future version of Volcarona that's going to be Iron Moth, a future version of Hariyama called Iron Hands, a future version of Hydreigon called Iron Jugulus, a future version of Tyranitar called Iron Thorns, as well as a future version of Delibird called Iron Bundle. Now, much like all the other 6 Pokemon we previously talked about, those can be found kind of all over the region as well. You are just going to kind of have to go explore and kind of see where they come up. Oh, one last thing. As far as I know, the Iron Thorns and the Magneton one, Sandy Shores, those are going to be found towards some of the cliffs, towards the 2nd and 3rd research bases, so go ahead and check those out. You are going to have to use your dragon to kind of climb up and see where you're going and things like that, and kind of explore around a little bit. But go to those ledges kind of near the edge of those cliffs, and you should find both of them pretty easily. Now again, for the final Pokemon that's going to be the Paradox Pokemon for Violet, that is going to be Iron Valiant, which is a future version of Gallade. That is going to be found in the exact same cavern as the Salamence Roaring Moon was. So again, go to Area 3, go straight, find that little kind of nook in the, mountain there, go in, and you'll be able to find it, no problem. Alright, now we're going to be talking about some legendary Pokemon. Now we're going to be talking about the 4 kind of non-motorcycle legendaries first, and they are called kind of the Ruin Pokemon. All of their abilities have something to do with Ruin, and they're really, really cool. Now for all of them, you may have seen like glowing staffs sticking out of the ground during your playthrough. All of those tie into your ability to actually encounter these Pokemon and ultimately catch them. Alright, now first up we're going to talk about Ting-Lu, and it's kind of like a deer Pokemon with a bowl on its head. Now all of its staffs are going to be found around Casaroya Lake. There are 8 of them, and they are going to have a yellow glow to them. I'm going to be posting the pictures of those locations for those items on the screen now, just so you can see kind of where they are along with their location on the map. As you can see in the first ones, a couple of them are in fields, some of them are on like the icy hills, but if you follow the map and you're in that area around the lake, it'll be pretty easy to find these. Alright, now once you collect all those stakes, go ahead and head to Sakura Trail and look for this shrine. It's like a green emblem that's kind of where it's locked away. When you see it, all you have to do is go ahead and interact with it, and it'll open up and you can face this Pokemon. Now, Ting-Lu itself is ground and dark. This means if you want to actually do a lot of damage to it, some really good options are Fairy, Fighting, Ice, Grass, and Water. Now again, make sure you don't knock it out, you don't want to do that, but if you do have a False Swiper, go ahead and knock it down to 1 HP, status it, and catch it that way, and you're not going to regret it. You're going to get a really cool Pokemon for your troubles. Alright, now next up we have Chien-Pao. Now this is going to be another legendary. It's going to be based on like kind of a saber-toothed tiger with like ice fangs or whatever. Looks really, really cool. Alright, now it too is going to have 8 stakes that you're going to have to collect. Now this time they're much more of like a golden yellow color. They stand out kind of from the other one. They look a lot more like almost orangey. And these are all going to be found around the West Province of Area 1. Now again, I am going to put all the locations for those up on the screen now with pictures as far as where you can find them, as well as the map for the area so you know exactly what to look for. Now much like Ting-Lu, once you go ahead and collect all 8 of those stakes, go ahead and head to the South Province of Area 1 and kind of look around in the land area until you find this shrine. Again, it is going to be the same color as the stakes, kind of that gold-orange color, and you're going to go ahead and interact with it, and then you will find your Chien-Pao behind it. It's weak to things like Bug, Fighting, Fire, Rock, Steel, Fairy, and honestly, I probably missed one because it's weak to like everything. But make sure you don't kill it because it is fairly fragile. Again, it's not that fragile. It has more bulk than something like a Weavile that has the same typing. But again, you could accidentally kill it pretty easily. So this is going to be another time that you're going to really want to use your False Swiper, especially given that because it's so fragile, False Swipe is actually going to do a lot of damage to it. So if you use it as your only attacking move, you're not going to have to sit there and kind of just hit away at it for 90 turns. It'll probably take you only 2 or 3 to get it down to 1 HP. And that's going to take us to our 3rd legendary, and that's going to be Wo-Chien. Now, all of its stakes are going to be kind of this like dark kind of purple color. It looks really cool. So for these, what you're going to want to do is go to the southeast kind of region of the map surrounding the South provinces, and you're going to be able to find the 8 stakes that way. Again, the locations and all that are going to be on the screen now. Go ahead, go find them, and once you collect 8, you're going to be able to go ahead and challenge this Pokemon. Now, this Pokemon is going to be found in West Province Area 1. Again, I'll have pictures of this on the screen now. When you go ahead and find this shrine, again, go ahead and interact with it, and you'll go inside and you'll be able to battle this Pokemon. Now, it is grass and dark, so it has a million weaknesses. It's weak to Fire, Flying, Bug, Ice, Fighting, Fairy, and I've probably missed something, but there's more than enough there for you to work with. But again, the key thing here, just be careful you don't accidentally knock it out, because again, there is, as far as we know, only one of these, and given kind of the amount of work you have to do to get it, we're probably not going to get any more of them. So just make sure that you go ahead, don't knock it out, False Swipe it and catch it, and you'll be all set. And for our 4th legendary, we have Chi-Yu the Fish. Now for these, you're going to want to look for stakes that have kind of a blue hue to them. They're going to be in the northeast area around the northern province. Now all you have to do is go ahead and head to these locations, these map locations, and you'll be able to get all those stakes. Then when you have all those, go ahead and head to the north province of Area 2. Once you're there, you will see this blue shrine. Go ahead and interact with it, and you'll be able to face this Pokemon. Now, real key takeaways here. It is going to be fire and dark. However, in addition to being fire and dark, it has a special attack stat of 135 and a speed stat of 100. It also has 120 base special defense. That means if you're planning on taking this thing on with a special attacker, you're probably going to have some trouble, so you may want to attack it on the physical side instead. Now, as a fire and dark type Pokemon, it is going to be weak to fighting. It's also going to be weak to ground, rock, and water. Now, this is fantastic because there are a ton of very strong Pokemon that fall into these types that you'll be able to throw out there and effectively wall the Pokemon with. Now, again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I do highly recommend using False Swipe here as well. Because it has kind of a low HP and low defense stat, you're going to be able to knock it down to 1 HP very, very quickly and start catching it. And all these Pokemon have low catch rates, so you're going to want to make sure you status them and give yourself a lot of time to catch it with Ultra Balls or whatever balls you want to use, just because it can take a while and you don't want it to end up struggling itself to death. And that's going to take us to our last two legendary Pokemon, and that is going to be both of our motorcycle Pokemon. As we know in the beginning of the game, you are going to get one of your dragons, either your Koraidon or Miraidon, and you're going to be able to ride it around throughout the course of the game. Now again, spoiler here, but at the completion of the 4th storyline, you are going to be able to actually have your dragon face the alpha from its area. Now that does mean that there are 2 of each dragon in your games. Now after you defeat it, and again, they really do make it easy to beat it because they give you a lot of tools to beat the other one, your dragon, whichever one you have, will join your team, and effectively you can keep it as its motorcycle or convert it into its actual battle mode, basically just giving you that Pokemon, so you don't even really need to catch it, you just kind of have it. That being said though, I did want to show you guys something kind of cool, so let's go ahead and hop into our Scarlet and Violet games and take a look. Alright, now in the post game, once you've actually beaten that other version of your legendary Pokemon, the former Alpha, it is actually going to show up again so you can actually catch it, and it's going to be at this ramp here. Now what you want to do is go up the ramp, and you're going to see, for me, there is a Koraidon waiting right here to battle me. It is going to be in its full kind of, battle regalia, so prepare for that. And I don't know the level of it, but it is going to be at least in the 60s, so make sure you are prepared for that. It is basically on the back side of where the main entrance is to the lab for the main last storyline, so just keep that in mind. And the really cool thing is that with your actual ride Pokemon that you get to keep and have as a member of your team, you're going to basically get to have 2 of your version dragons in your game, which is awesome, meaning that you'll always have an extra one you can trade away. So if you have somebody with Violet, you can go ahead and trade your Scarlet Legendary, and you'll get theirs, and you each will have one of each. So Pokemon really did make it very convenient for trading, so everybody can get both Legendaries without having to give up the only Legendary in their game, meaning you can get both really easily, which honestly is just fantastic. Alright, now I have to be honest, the dex numbers are laid out very weird in this generation because we're done with all the Legendaries, but we still have some other Pokemon we have to talk about. So, sit down, relax, we still have a couple more we have to hammer out, but don't worry, there's not too many left. Now, next up we're going to be talking about the Pink Fairy and Steel Pokemon Tinkatinka. Now, Tinkatinka is going to be found in the East Province of Area 2 and the South Province of Area 2, as well as the South Province of Area 3 and the West Province of Area 1. Now, it also can be found as static encounters in the Asado Desert or the South Province of Area 2. Now, in addition, it will be found in 2-star raids. Now, at level 24, it is going to be able to evolve into Tinka Tough. Now, Tinka Tough, much like Tinkatinka, is found kind of all over the place and can be found in the Dalizapa Passage, East Province Area 2, North Province Area 1, North Province Area 3, South Province Area 6, and West Province Area 2. Now, it'll also have static encounters at Castleroyal Lake and the West Province of Area 1. And if you want to go ahead and tackle this thing in raids, 3-star raids are going to be what you want to look out for. Now, as I mentioned, this thing does evolve again, and it's going to evolve at level 38 into Tinkaton. Now, this Pokemon does not show up in the wild, so in order to get it, you are going to have to evolve Tinka Tough, but it is, of course, available in raids, and you're going to want to keep an eye out for 5- and 6-star raids for this Pokemon. Now, next up, we're going to be talking about something that kind of involves version exclusives, and that's going to be Charcadet. Now, this Pokemon is found in both versions of the game, and is found in the Asado Desert, East Province Area 1, East Province Area 2, East Province Area 3, and it's going to be found in South Provinces in Area 3, 4, and 5, as well as the Tag Tree Thicket and the West Province regions of Area 1, 2, and 3. Now, it's also found in 1- and 3-star raid battles, but again, it's just all over the place, so just go ahead and find it, and get ready to do some work, because we have a lot we gotta do to actually evolve this thing. Now, in Pokemon Scarlet, this thing is going to evolve into Armor Rouge. Now, in order to do that, you are going to have to go ahead and defeat 10 Bronzor. Now, they can be found in the desert off to the left-hand side of the map. When you defeat Bronzor, you are going to have an actual drop item that you're going to collect. But once you get all those fragments, you're going to want to go ahead and head over to Zapapico. And once you're there, go ahead and find this NPC, and he'll collect your Bronzor fragments and give you the armor. Then all you have to do is use the armor on your Charcadet, and you will get your Armor Rouge. Now, it's pretty much the same if you have Pokemon Violet to get Ceruledge. The only difference here is you're going to have to knock out 10 Sinistea instead. So you're going to get your 10 Sinistea drops, go ahead and go back to Zapapico, and then find the NPC, and instead of getting the Auspicious Armor, you'll get the Malicious Armor instead. In Pokemon Violet, just go ahead, use that in your Charcadet, and of course it will evolve, and you'll be all set. Now do keep in mind these are version exclusives, so if you do want to get both, you are going to have to trade between games. And these do take kind of a lot of work to actually get done, so it may be a little while until people are willing to trade a whole bunch of these. But that being said, it is a really cool Pokemon. It's very defining for the generation, and I know I'm going to be working to get my hands on both either way. Now that's going to bring us to our regional version of Tentacool, which this time is called Toedscool. Now this time around is going to be a ground and grass type Pokemon, and it's going to be able to be found in the East Province of Area 1 and 2, the Socarrat Trail, the South Provinces of Area 1, 3, 4, and 5, the Tag Tree Thicket, and West Province Areas 2 and 3. And of course, it's also going to be found in 1-star raid battles as well. Now at level 30, you can go ahead and evolve it, and that's going to go ahead and evolve it into Toedscruel. Now again, this version is grass and ground, and it is kind of an interesting take on Tentacruel. I'm amazed they did this, and it actually looks kind of neat, so thumbs up there. But anyways, this Pokemon can be found only on the Socarrat Trail if you don't want to evolve it, or it can also be found in 4- or 6-star raids. Alright, now next up we have a Pokemon called Kingambit, and it's going to be the evolution of Bisharp. Now look, I gotta be honest, this thing is going to be an absolute nightmare to evolve, so just kind of brace yourself. Alright, now in order to actually evolve it, Bisharp has to prove that it is the king of the pack, and that's going to kind of take a lot of work. What we have to do is this. First and foremost, you have to find a Bisharp that is surrounded by Pawniard. Now, most likely this Bisharp is going to be holding an item called the Leader's Crest. Now, what you need to do is either capture this Bisharp or use Thief on it to get its item away from it. Then you can do whatever you want with the Bisharp. It's not that important. Just knock it out, whatever, or catch it. And then what you're going to need to do is take that Leader's Crest and give it to your Bisharp to hold. Now, once it's holding that item, you're going to have to go and find 3 more Bisharps that are holding the Leader's Crest. Basically, again, just look for a group of Pawniard with a Bisharp in the middle, and you're going to have to knock out those 3 Bisharp with your Bisharp. Now, once you are able to do that, that Bisharp has proven itself to be the king of the pack, and it will be able to evolve into Kingambit. Now, this can be a little bit tedious, but my best recommendation is to go to Area 0 because there are a ton of Bisharp in there, and they all have Pawniard groups around them, so most likely that's where you're going to be able to find the heaviest concentrations of these Bisharp that have that special item. Now, again, it is a lot of work, but Kingambit looks really, really cool, and is honestly a really awesome evolution to this line. Alright, now next up we have Paldean Wooper, and to get this guy, you're going to have to go to the South Provinces of Area 1, 2, 4, or 5, or go ahead and take on some 1-star raids. Now, once you have your Paldean Wooper, just go ahead and get it to level 20, and you'll be able to evolve it into Clodsire. Now, a lot of people really love this evolution, so it's a great thing. You can also find it in the wild all over the place if you don't want to bother evolving it. Now, you're going to want to head to East Province Area 3, Glaciado Mountain, North Province Area 1, South Province Area 5 or 6, or West Province Area 3 to get this Pokemon in the wild. Of course, it is also found in raids. This time around, it's going to be in 4- and 6-star raids. Alright, now that we covered Wooper and Clodsire, let's talk about the other regional variant for the games, and that's going to be Tauros. Now, instead of our normal Tauros, we have a different kind of jet black colored Tauros, and it looks really, really cool, but there are kind of some variations in the game that we have to keep an eye out for. Now, there is your normal variant to Tauros, which is going to be a pure fighting type Pokemon. However, there is also the Blaze Breed variant, which is going to be found only in Pokemon Scarlet, and the Aqua Breed variant, which is only found in Pokemon Violet. Now, they are going to either be in their normal fighting form, or they're fighting in fire, or fighting in water form, kind of depending on where you get them around the region. I have not found, as of yet, a great way to actually get one or the other, so you are going to have to just go ahead and check out some of the regions where they spawn to kind of figure out which one you want. That being said, Paldean Tauroses can be found in the East Province Area 2 or the West Province Area 2. Now, they also have static encounters on the East Province of Area 1 and the East Province of Area 2 as well. Now, these also show up in a ton of raids. I assume everybody wants to get their hands on them. So they are going to be in 4, 5, and 6-star raids. And last but certainly not least, we are going to finish things off with a brand new evolution to Primeape, and that is Annihilape. Now, once you have your Primeape, make sure that it knows the move Rage Fist. All you have to do is go ahead and use that move 20 times. It doesn't have to be in one battle or anything. Just use it 20 times throughout the course of however many battles you want. Then go ahead and level up your Primeape, and it will evolve into Annihilape. Now, the stats on this Pokemon are just okay, but it looks awesome, and it's Ghost and Fighting, which is one of the best typings in the entire game. So, even though it's going to take some work, getting this Pokemon is 100% worth your time. And there we go, everybody. We made it. That is how you can get every single brand new Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And you know what? It's going to take some time, but there are some awesome Pokemon in this generation. And once you get them, you're going to have an amazing looking Pokedex, and it is going to be an awesome achievement. So that being said, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video, but most importantly, I hope you found it helpful. And with the help of this video, you are able to get all those awesome Pokemon and complete your Paldea Dex, so you can go ahead and get your Shiny Charm and all those good things like that. If the video was helpful for you, please make sure that you absolutely Giga Impact that like button in the face, and of course consider subscribing to the channel because again, it really does help us out, and it lets us continue to bring you videos just like this one. So that being said, everybody, I've been Blaine for Bridge4 Games. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. Please remember that the best Pokemon games are the ones that you love to play, and the proper ways to play them are however the heck you have the most fun. I hope each and every one of you have a happy, epic, awesome, and amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. See you around. Bye-bye.